What's the easiest lever to pull with Omnichannel for local business using one prompt? Who should I hire on Upwork to implement this system so that I can use it for my own marketing agency for setting up a nurturing sequence? Is it worth my time? Okay, so I'm not sure if the John is here. Yeah, John, can you say something?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I do. So these are like two separate questions, right? One for the business and one for you.
Correct. So the question with local businesses, I'm curious about like the way that I've seen obviously some different structural ways that those businesses are being built with the omni-channel and through people like whoever the one who did the gym and all that stuff. But I guess my question is like when you're setting that stuff up, like what's the pitch on that exactly? Because I'm looking at as more like a is it a nurturing sequence, a re-nurturing where you're trying to like what is that they're actually doing when they're reaching out to them? Because the easiest one is obviously they have a list of people and all we're doing is grabbing it and trying to sell those people back into the list. Is that kind of what I'm seeing, or am I wrong about that?
No, you're good. So, and just quickly, very quick spoiler alert. So that's what I was literally saying. So in the version 1. It's going to be 1.6, whatever. So as you can see here, we have the agents classified by the intent. So like appointment setter, database reactivation, lead capturing, lead qualification, onboarding. So you have some of them here. Now, when it comes to, are you asking in general, like, or you maybe have already an idea of, that you can reach out to like the industry or something, or you not sure yet?
I'm not sure yet. I'm still analyzing it. For example, like I'm going to be in Cincinnati, and I was thinking, you know what? There's a ton of local businesses. A lot of them are not very sophisticated, as I can see from my research today. And I feel like some of those local like businesses. Let's just use, I don't know, plumbers for example. Like I saw like 20 plumbers who have no social presence at all online at all, and probably would benefit from either some sort of opportunity to add this to their system, because they're probably overloaded and have no way actually to find leads consistently or capture those leads and have it go through a sequence so that they can actually consistently get work.
Okay, so here it is. Convert more 3x more leads, spending 90% less time. So this is your pitch. Now, so first, when it comes to local businesses, moms and pops and one man shops, you need to understand, like, if you're gonna, most of them are broke in terms of like they're struggling, and you don't want to work with them, because when you're gonna say anything about leads, they'll say, yes, we need more leads. So you don't, because this is for the marketing agency generating interest. What you're working with is the people that are overloaded, as you said. Now, a lead capturing, a lead qualification, a lead nurturing education, these are not the things usually, because these are the things that you put on the website, you put on the on social media, or depending on, so in the email, on the SMS, WhatsApp, and they need to have some digital presence. Usually they receive phone calls, right? Now, technically, yeah, sure. So you can build an appointment setter that will take all their calls, especially when they are on the field. That's what we were using as one of these like pitches for certain amount of period when we were running the cold outreach for these guys, is like, hey, I know that you're on the field a lot of time and missing a lot of the calls. So how about we build an AI agent that will handle so all the calls when you are out of office, and will qualify these people, capture all the details, and then we'll follow up with them. So this is like one very simple thing. Another thing is, okay, so if you picture, they have a lot of the leads and they talk about them, but a lot, like, they have leads that were asking about something and they're dead now. So you need to either like follow up with them or reactivate them again. So it's also another pitch saying, hey, we can bring you more leads without you spending anything on marketing. You would get a lead list, right? And then you would use a database reactivation agent that will call these leads one by one and say, hey, John, you've been, asking about your what, like, pitch, like, problems with my English, sync not working. Is it fixed?
Yeah.
Is it fixed? We can, do you want me to take a look? Something like that. So what I'm saying is that these are, the two. So if you're asking specifically, yeah, sure. So we will, and you can rewatch the recording. So what I said, like, convert 3x more leads. It means that convert, not gain. It means that they need to have the traffic. And by converting, by answering all the phone calls and following up. So once the call is done and person says, yeah, sure, give me a call in a period or send me the details, whatever, following up with them after the call is made, and you would like close more deal, like you would close more people without spending more money. More time. And the second one is, so make more money without spending anything on the ads by reactivating all the prospects. Same thing applies to, if it's the seasonal service, you can run different, outreach campaigns. And it could be for the SMS, right? So you can explore the SMS campaigns, not necessarily the voice, or this type of the thing. Yeah, so this would be, I hope this answers your question.
Yeah, that's the first one. So the second part of the question, and I know you spent thank you so much for answering that first. Second part would be for my own agency that I'm working on, which is actually a content agency. And this is more like a side thing that I'm trying. But with the content agency, I do have leads coming in from Facebook and ads that I'm running. The issue is that I don't have a setter.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me still?
Yeah, you get cut.
Sorry, someone was trying to call me. Anyway, so the idea is that I need a nurturing sequence that doesn't actually require me to be up at all hours, because I'm right now in Athens, Greece, and people are in the US. So the issue with that is when I'm traveling or somewhere else, I may miss those opportunities. And I saw that you can do it, but setting that up has been a bit of a challenge for me personally, because I'm not technically savvy with all that stuff, and I'm doing my best to learn. But I just want to know if I should just hire someone to set that stuff up.
Okay.
And how difficult is it?
Sure. And sorry, I because my internet cut off. I missed the first part. Is it so? How are these guys reaching out to you?
It's through ad forms on Facebook, and
then what happens?
So they get in to a nurturing sequence that was built for me by someone else, but it still requires me to be the setter.
What is the channel? What is the channel or communication?
It would be SMS and email. Those are the two. The email's working, but the SMS is kind of, it still requires me to follow up to again, set them, make sure they're qualified.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So now I'm planning actually to create a video on my YouTube about the one prompt. So like this is a soft upsell to the one prompt on the ads plus the AI agents in general. Now, so when you have the form, it's pretty actually easy to set up. I will explain you the basics, and then we'll explain how you can set it up, not yourself, by hiring the person. Now, so you would have the ad, and you would have the form. So this form will be pulled into the high level, into the one prompt. So one prompt is the high level, so as the front end. So let me just call it high level for you to make it easier. So you can create the direct integration. So now when the prospect comes out into the one prompt, you would literally we have the engagement agent, and the one that is going to be published like this week, later, on the end, it's working the same way. So it's basically what we're doing is we're researching the company website and then sending the first message. Now you're different because there's maybe no company, so not necessarily the company, or we don't have that much information. Anyways, they fill out the form. So based on this form details, so these details come into the GHL, and from there, AI is sending, hey, John, so you filled out the form in like 3 minutes to make it, you can't say it like the same second, but 3 minutes. Say, hey, John, so you filled out the form. Can we chat here? I have a few questions. By the way, this is the exact same thing that I use, but for the bookings. So when someone books the appointment, like the strategy call for the one prompt, then then there is like this type of the sequence. That's it. So once they say yes, and it could be the SMS and both the email, I would say like start with the SMS. And when they say yes, it's literally the agent. So you would have, the whatever. So let's say N8N agent, and you can it's not hard to set up. So you would replace a few like variables here. You'd replace the prompt in general. Say, hey, you need to ask a certain amount of questions. So these are the questions. That's it. Yeah. So to answer your question, to give others also ask possibility to ask questions. Yes, it's not hard. Now, when you want to set this up, by the way, guys who are listening, and also for you in general, post on WhatsApp and post on School that you're looking for the person. Now, obviously, like people here are more like trying to build it for themselves, for the agency. They're business owners, not necessarily like the freelancers. But what I'm saying is that a lot of people here have like more technical knowledge, struggling in the business side, and they're like looking to improve, right? So that's where you can have a match, at least the short term. So this is one thing. Another thing, if you are going into the Upwork route, you need two softwares, high level and N8N. Okay, so if you are going to the Upwork, search for the specialist that knows high-level workflows, automations, not how to build a website, email marketing. No, you can ask how advanced you are with GHL workflows. Of course, they can lie, whatever. This is like a whole nother thing. But if they say yes, so do you know N8N? So this will be ideal. Like if they have at least some understanding, at least they built like an agent or two with N8N, they have an understanding with high level, give them access to one prompt, give them 1 month, pay them for this 1 month, I would say like $600. But it depends. Like the one prompt is actually like as a course would take them 12 hours. So what, like 12 hours times $20 per hour, like 200, so whatever, so about like $500 to $600 to go through everything and set it up. That's it. So if you will not be able to find the N8N guy, because GHL N8N make, so if they know make, okay, you just need to give them like a few more weeks to learn, to learn kind of to get used to the N8N. But yeah, so this is what you're looking for, basically. This would be my my suggestion.
Great. Okay. Yeah, that answers my question, because I think it's the setting part that's causing a lot of friction right now for me, which is, so I appreciate it. That's all I needed to know.
Sure. No worries.
Right.
Yeah, if we have some more time, we can talk about this later. Now, so Ivan was asking, Ivan, this is not Ivan, it's Ivan, probably. I'm building an automation proposal using N8N for a construction company based in Spain. I've identified the following key components to integrate: channel integration, WhatsApp, Instagram, centralized communication platform. Not sure what this is. Customer support system, chatbot. Okay, chatbot connection for both channels, calendar, agenda, document generation, integration, internal rack. Okay, so my plan is set up the entirely in N8N and offer it as a service, set up with monthly maintenance. Which models, tools, or integrations would you recommend using end-to-end to architect this system efficiently? What modular structure or base workflow would you suggest to start building this from scratch? Thanks in advance. Now, obviously this is not type of the one prompt scenario necessarily. If we're thinking about like the one prompt as a sales system in a box, but I get it. So, it feels like proposal using NNN for construction company based in Spain. Okay. So I mean, because the NNN is built in a way where like you again, so I think you have a pretty good understanding, or at least some understanding of the NNN. So you have, the agent here that has the tools, right? So these tools would be like, depending again on what you're trying to be, like the exact flow, centralized communication platform, customer support system. Okay. So you're integrating. Yeah, I get it. So now, okay. Centralized communication platform, customers calendar agenda system integration. Okay, yeah. So it's going to be a bit more complex. So this is going to be a multi-step flow. Let me multi-agent thing. So the first agent would be basically the agent that is identifying the intent, right? So I would say all the intent. So the customer support system. It means that I guess you are retrieving some information from the chatbot. Okay. So now this will be the chatbot agent, right? So when there is a question regarding, the customer support, you will go to one agent one. When there is a question regarding, calendar bookings, visits, you'll go to the third agent. Okay. Now, when you're practical integration RAG, okay, internal RAG. So if there is like a company specific question, you're going to go to the third one. Now, I hope this is pretty clear. This, like, for example, I don't think that you need to use the template, nor you'd probably use this, because you can, like, it's not, I would on your place, I would build it from scratch, like spend just additional day trying to build it from scratch, just so that you understand each and every part. Now, so the first step would be, the like intent classification. So this is the data retrieving model. So you'd say, okay, so this is the user question, this is the chat history, and you would say, okay, so identify the intent of the user, right? So you would have the input schema like that. Okay. And so based on the is intent, it will send them to a separate agent. So this is what we like essentially have here. So when the intent is product info, so when someone is asking the product information, we are going to this agent. When there's company info, you go to this agent. So it's like, it's going to different agents. Now, so that's pretty straightforward. Now, let's say there's an agent. So there's there's a customer support request here that is going to be connected to, that you need to retrieve from the chatbot. You would actually go into, so it would go to this agent, and this agent will have multiple tools, right? So, and each tool is the endpoint. So it's, again, is very similar setup to what we have with appointment booking here. Now, wait for the video tomorrow on YouTube. I'm going over the appointment booking agent. Again, guys, don't worry. So you will all have access to that. We just want to make it like perfect to decrease hallucinations and error rate. That's why I'm like still not publishing it. But in a nutshell, so you have different endpoints to their evolution API to get. Okay, so the first one is get the ticket ID. The second one is get the contact. Third one, whatever. And the same thing. So for the RAG, it's like when there is a question regarding, some internal processes, you'll go to the agent 2. And here you would have, also different tools, or maybe you don't need any tools. So the only tool that you would have here is just a RAG knowledge base, right? So you don't need any tools, and it will just operate on the RAG knowledge base. So this should give you the idea. Obviously, it depends. I think that the best place for you to start is to understand the basics of the agentic workflows in the N8N. There's so many videos on YouTube if you are like at the very beginning level. So you can actually, so what you can do, you can go to the classroom, right? How to build curriculum, right? And these are, really good videos. So on the N8N for the beginner level, so the beginner guide and learn the webhooks. So from Nick. this will give you a pretty good understanding. Then you can watch a few more, and I think you're all ready to go. It's just on setting everything up correctly in terms of the endpoints, and then instructing the AI, instructing the agent to pull the information from these tools in a correct order. So that would be the answer to this question. Let me go to another one because I know that you have another, but let's ask her. Let's ask her, Jurgen, answer the Jurgen's one, and then we'll go into your ones. Thanks for the in-depth response last week, Eugene. Really helped and talk. Also further my vision. Now, so is a bit of a context. So Jurgen was asking about a client he was about to talk to, or if I remember, like close, and we were discussing how he can potentially go about doing that in pitching the service, if I'm not mistaken. Stepping more away from lead gen and no cure, no pay pricing. So, and I was basically saying that you do not want to offer services that necessarily like generate leads or like anything related generating like eyeballs to the business, which is marketing. You don't want to be a marketing service. I mean, if you want to be a marketing service, that's great. But usually this is not the case for AI agency owners. One part of my system is that we want to follow up and engage leads that filled in on the lead magnet, and we want them to be automatically enriched. But in the tutorial, this is done manually. This is done manually by adding the enrichment tag. Is it possible to also have everybody that came through one of the lead magnets get enriched, and then based on the enrichment, engagement agent, and then further? Yeah. So is Jürgen here? Let me check. Probably not. Anyways, so Jürgen, you will watch this in the recording. So when I was answering John's question, I think you got the idea, right? So he has a pretty like a similar use case running the ads. So fill out the form there, fill out the Facebook form. So it's a bit different, but okay. So when there is a form fill out, you would put the person into the high level, into the one prompt, and then you would run the automation. So this is basically how you would go about building something like that. Is let's say we have the engagement agent. Okay, so this is the new one. Let me just open it quickly because the old one is very similar. But okay, so let me like open it still. When of course, like you can run the enrichment automatically. So it really depends on what type of the enrichment you want and how in depth you want it. So, for example, you would use Clay, right? So if you need to find like the emails or whatever, in the tutorial on the enrichment agent, you, I think, got the idea. So when the tag is added, you run this scenario and then you update the contacts in the contact custom fields. Okay. So if this is okay way for you, if you don't want to modify anything, if you're clear on that, I mean, the only other thing is like when someone fills out the form, like here, it's actually, setting the agent type and going to another workflow. But okay, so here we are like generating the reply, right? So we're using the end, but okay, so you can use the voice flow as within the tutorial. And you can literally just say, okay, tag, like add the custom tag, and you would do the enrichment, right? So, or whatever you want. So prospect enrichment. Or what you can also do, because the enrichment workflow is a separate workflow. So let me go into, I think it's version 1.3, or no, it's 1.2, I think. Wait, I'm confused now with my own agents. Prospect enrichment, okay. So start enrichment, and then receive the process details. So here's how we are starting the enrichment by sure. So the trigger is adding the tag, but like the trigger can be different, and then you can add the tag afterwards. So it's not a problem. So let's get it. Yeah, my VPN is dying. Okay, so here we are, triggering the flow. So And you don't necessarily like need to add like this specific flow and through the prospect enrichment tag. So you just go here, you would set up the clay integration, whatever I show in the tutorial, you'd get that. And you literally place it, here. So after, the form is submitted and before generating the message, you would, enrich the customer details. Now, once these customer details are enriched, you can like go and start like reach out to this prospect, because within the engagement agent mini course, I'm just explaining how to enrich the details of the people that are coming to the pipeline. I'm not explaining how to actually engage with these prospects, but I hope at this stage you should understand how to do that. It's not hard. So it's like you're combining the engagement agent and the enrichment agent. So the only difference is that within the engagement agent, when the form is filled, you are putting like a little module here that is going to trigger the clay scenario because it's going to be updated on the backend. That is it. So now you're like sending the message to the user saying, hey, we saw that you fill out the form. And you can, by the way, reference some information from this form if you need it. As we're doing in the engagement agent. In the engagement agent, if you remember, people post the actual website. We're researching this web, like we're like scraping this website through Firecrawl, getting the content. And then based on this content, we're creating the message. And when the prospect replies back, we're going back and forth and like nurturing him further. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I hope for you at this point. So if you have questions, let me know back in school. And yeah, so good luck with the client. Ivan. And guys, so I will answer the Ivan's question right now. And then if you have anything to ask live, we still have time. So you can prepare your question. A barber client wants to change his appointment management. He wants to keep using his appointment scheduling platform called Booksy because people already schedule appointments there, and he wants to have a client used to schedule appointments there. And also new clients have come to him thanks to the platform. Okay, so I would like to enrich it with a bot that also schedules appointment on the platform for him via WhatsApp and Instagram, sending appointment reminders and even sending messages to interact with the clients where he asks to upload the story mentioning his account. Okay, so what workflow videos do you recommend to watch based on where you stand from the work? Okay, so now this is a pretty, pretty like the same thing. So literally the same what I was just explaining in terms of the engagement agent. So engagement agent is all about something is happening. It could be the form fill out. It could be the Google form fill out. It could be the, by the way, Facebook form fill out. So like you can even, and John, back to you if you're like still watching the recording, because I saw that you laughed. Like you can connect the Facebook form fill out like directly here. Okay. Anyways, so when there is a trigger, so this is the trigger. We are running the processing like enrichment or anything, and then we're sending the DM to the user. Okay. Because after that, let's call it message. Because after that, the engagement agent is done. So the job of the engagement agent is done. Then when the reply is received, right? The reply is received. This is a regular Omni agent, right? So there's like getting the replies on the WhatsApp. I think you got this part, right? So for this, you probably like, you should watch the Omnichannel mini course. You understand how it works, okay? On this part, I was just explaining. So the actual thing would be to but okay, no, I my bad. So what I'm focusing right now, I'm focusing on the part of your question where you're saying that to engage with the users. But what we're basically discussing is to schedule appointments via WhatsApp and Instagram. Okay. With the software. Okay, so now what we're saying is that there is an inbound DM, right? Let's say it's WhatsApp. Okay, so WhatsApp. There is an inbound DM, and this inbound DM is getting processed, and then we reply to the user, like we reply. It is literally like, I mean, this is the Omni agent. Like, I hope, because you were saying that you still have not finished all the courses. So this is like this is the Omni agent. Okay, so this is the Omni agent that is, processing the reply and then generating the reply. Okay, the magic is happening inside the engine. Again, so depending, like, because the n8n was not released yet, so you're probably using the voice flow. So inside the voice flow, you would actually kind of build this up, right? Now, two things. This, like, for example, like this agent is simply like replying to the users, can qualify them based on the knowledge base and based on the prompt. What you need to have connections to third-party tools. There is a VoiceFlow release their agent step. Now, sorry for getting confused, because should I explain that, or should I explain it on n8n? Are you here, by the way? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
So are you planning to use n8n? Because, like, if you would use n8n for your previous build, I would suggest you to just keep everything in n8n and wait for us to release the n8n. Or you would want to build it on VoiceFlow. What do you feel comfortable with?
I really don't know. I think so. I prefer n8n.
Okay. So, I mean, if you prefer n8n, like, so basically, just tomorrow, like, it's going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the video on the YouTube that is going to explain the booking agent.
Okay.
So it means that there is an agent that it books an appointment. So when people want to book an appointment, it goes to this agent. This agent has access to different tools. Each tool is the API endpoint. Not each, but most of them. There's like sub workflows. You'll understand from the video. So let's say there is, get contact, right? So this is the endpoint that is getting the contact. Now, let's say get contact appointments, right? Or we have get available slots. And get available slots is, by the way, a separate workflow. Let me just open it quickly. So the idea is that when the user says something, it's identify what tools to run. You got this part. And we are here connecting to the one prompt. So we are here connecting to the high level calendar. Okay. You're saying that you don't want, and the client don't want that. So, for example, this is the get workflow, and you're just, sending the API endpoint to getting all the time slots. So the first thing that you need to do is what's the platform? Booksy API. Booksy APIs. Booksy get started. Okay, so they have Postman. I guess it should be, if it's that Booksy. Let's see how many endpoints they have. Okay. Pipedrive API scheduling import. Booksy, is it fetch 3 slots? Okay, so for example, like, see, fetch 3 slots. This is like very similar endpoint to the get available slots. So what you would do, you would go to this agent, you would connect the tool, you would do the HTTP, and you would say, okay, you like go to HTTP and say, run this tool when you need to get available slots. And this tool will be run, and you would create an API request to this like endpoint, right? That's gonna get the free slots. And then when the slots is found, you need to book an appointment. Booksy booking. Okay. So you would like explore the APIs, but basically this is kind of it. And I don't think that it's again, also like too hard of the task, because what you need, if you're like talking just about that, you just need one agent with a set of API calls to Booksy, Booksy API, and that's it. And you would just connect it to WhatsApp through one prompt. So when someone sends the message to WhatsApp, it's going to trigger the webhook, and it's going to go here.
Okay.
First, like, don't worry about the WhatsApp, right? First, book it, like, create it from scratch. You literally go, you literally need to, create the workflow, set the chat trigger, and you would do the agent whatever. That's agent. Where is it? Yeah, agent. And that's it. So it's like you would create. So now create it and then try to book an appointment with open the chat, and that's it. Once it is done, it might take you like a week. It's not hard. Like again, so if Booksy has a pretty straightforward APIs, it's not hard. It's like it's literally creating through the tools, doing HTTP requests, and just nailing down the prompting on how to call certain things. And then when it works, you can just Control C and Control V it to our agent. Okay, just connect different dots, and you will be able to connect it to WhatsApp pretty easily. So the WhatsApp part and the connection part, and creating API between like the one prompt and it's not a problem. So the 90% of the thing will be inside this. But again, so if you would have the client not necessarily like using Booksy, it's going to be already done by the sales agent, right? That we're releasing, because this will have an entire set of functions to the one prompt calendar.
Okay, but they just have to add not to remove any tool.
What?
I don't have to remove any tool from any name. I just have to add the Booksy tool.
Yeah, so it's agent. So you would like create basically a Booksy agent. That's it. And then no, you don't need it. So depending on like when you have the Booksy agent, let me know. Like let us know in school. Say, hey guys, so I have this Booksy agent. How do we implement it into your N8N scenario? No, like you don't need a half of that. So you'd like literally just delete that, change a few things, because like why would you need it? So if you are just booking an appointment, and then that's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you, Eugene.
No worries. Anyways, guys, so this is it when it comes to the questions that we got from school. So you guys let me know if someone has something to say live. Jonathan, you're in France. Okay, so let's do Jonathan first. I said it. I can hear you. You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, all good.
All right. Howdy. How you doing, Eugene? Hi, everyone.
Pretty okay.
I have a question. I mean, everything is very N8N heavy, but the last year and a half or so, I've been working with mostly Make and Zapier. So I was wondering, will any of these...
I already kind of predict your question about N8N versus Make.
Well, will they be able to be transferred, or it's not really replicable in the other platforms?
Last on the last workshop, we've been discussing the difference between Make and N8N and why we're like using the switch. And of course, right now it's like it's the N8N voice cell and retail. So these are the two main tools, right? Three main tools. I was the guy a few months ago, even like half a year ago, who was like against N8N. I was like, why? Like you can use the Make and whatever, because we had the voice cell and we still have the voice cell for all the conversational experiences. But to answer quickly, if you're building conversational agent, the agent that talks to customers, like you only have the voice flow, which is the platform that is designed specifically for that, or you would have to use like our N8N workflow. So it's not possible in a sense of, because like we are using, for example, the custom code, we're using the memory, right? So the Make is more like a linear automation type of the thing. It's not agentic kind of in a sense. So you don't necessarily like have the memory by default there. You can like set up different storages. Plus they released their agents. Haven't tried it honestly yet. I think it could be good. But yeah, so to answer the question, maybe you can transfer it completely to the N8N if you're building the conversational agent, maybe. but I don't think so. I don't think that you'll be able to do.
To make, you mean?
Yeah, to make. Sorry.
Right. Okay. Because in the omnichannel agent, there's this, let's say the wait step, right? There's if you want to wait less than a minute.
For like, sorry. This was that was our mistake when we tested incorrectly. You don't need this call. Just
You don't
for
need it.
now, so you can use, and the reason for that call is, I'm not showing the screen. So the reason for that call was for the testing. So to wait like 20 seconds instead of 1 minute, and we're like using the webhook to wait. But you can, like here in the wait module, you can set up 0.2 minutes, and it's gonna wait for like seconds. So, so you don't need this basically.
That wait is just for the person to type in their responses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But you would, like, for your testing, you would put something like that. But when you're like creating, it live, you would put something like 2 minutes to make it more human.
Why would I wait 2 minutes for someone to input their?
But you're not waiting 2 minutes. So because it's like for both. It's waiting for the user to input the details, but after that, it's generating the reply right away, and then it's like sending the reply right away. So it's like it's also the wait of how long user waits until the response is received. No, technically you can wait for like a minute here to get all the responses, and then when you're sending the SMS, you would wait, like you would put another wait, but it's not needed. Do you get the idea?
I do. I'm just thinking when I converse with someone, I don't wait a minute. If we're having a conversation, just like you and I, it's like a few seconds between our responses.
Yeah, it's like it's depend. I mean, I'm not saying that you need to do that. So it feels like, so if there is like, you can put a delay for the 1 minute, but if you like remember all the conversations that you ever had on the live chat with any software, like it's not with your friend on SMS. It's not like that, because agents still have multiple conversations. So it's like it's some delay. I mean, again, you can do whatever you want. It's just that, like, depending on the business. So if you're like working with the old schooler business where older people, like, they will be okay and understand that it will take some time for the person to respond. So it's like depends on if you're trying to fake it really hard or not.
Okay. But you're saying I don't need that custom webhook to go out, do the delay, just do 0.5 or 0.2
Yes,
or whatever.
exactly. But if you would need, you could make for sure.
Yeah.
For that one, you could, like, for sure.
Yeah, I just used the sleep model.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. So.
Okay. But for the rest of the agents, all the N8 and stuff, I'll have to like get into that system as well.
So if you're using as a voice flow, right, as a powerhouse, you don't need make. Oh, you don't need N8N. You can use make.
I can use make. Okay.
Yes. There's so.
But all the stuff
like
that we're showing now for, I think it was for Ivan. Those what was that you were showing? I'm not there yet. I'm still in the beginning of the omnichannel agent.
It's like the same type of the thing, but on N8N. So it's like it's alternative. So we are gonna, for the omnichannel agent, right? You could build it on, let's say, voice flow only, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you have like different tools, you can, inside the voice flow, you would do the API call, and you would do the API call to any tool. But if you're, or inside the N8N, because like now this is, so this is the booking agent. So if we remove this booking agent from here, like that, this is this. It's like it's similar, and you can choose. If you are planning to just create and sell sales bots, like to do any of this to do any of these things, right? For example, yeah,
Mhm.
sure. Like you can just use VoiceFlow. You can just use VoiceFlow and Make.
Right.
The reason for the N8N is because a lot of people trying to like we're playing around with the N8N, we're building on N8N, or they don't know anything, or they know just want some random tool like relevance, and it doesn't matter for them to learn like VoiceFlow or N8N. So I would say like learn N8N,
Mhm.
but you're not gonna miss anything if we're talking about that
Okay.
in terms of functionality.
Okay. I had just one more question. The database reactivation, that's a voice solution. I was wondering if there would be like a text-based solution for that.
Thinking about that, the problem with the text based is that like there's SMS or WhatsApp, okay?
Right.
Because like email is different. Like for the email, you need to build an infrastructure. To answer your question, yes. Not sure in the timeline. Probably in the next month or so. So probably gonna do that. But because like again, so it's not like if you think about this, it's not hard to do. There is like a few people doing it within the community. You can like post in school, and hopefully they will see it. Because like if you think about this, okay, so you can trigger the same with the database reactivation. You'd like start database reactivation, and instead of the call, you'd literally do like WhatsApp message.
Mhm.
What I'm saying is that there are limitations, right? On the WhatsApp side, on the SMS, on the Twilio. So it's like regulations in terms of the software. It's not the legal side. So you need to explore that. But like think about this. It's pretty straightforward. Like you just send an SMS, and then when you receive a reply, Omni agent starts. That you don't need to set it up.
Right.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I wasn't thinking to connect it to the Omni agent, but yeah, like it didn't cross my mind, but yeah, that actually makes sense. So
I mean, yeah, that's the point. Like to get a reply and then let the Omni agent to talk. But okay, yeah, technically, if you don't get too many replies, you can reply it manually. But it's not hard. So when we're talking about the database reactivation with voice, you need to set up the agent, API call, like pass everything. But in SMS, it's just SMS module, whatever. Yeah.
right. Well, for a while, I was trying to do a voice AI kind of reactivation for dentists and dental hygienists, but I'm in Israel, and the Hebrew version of the voice doesn't work well. So I was thinking to do the text-based version, and but then if I connect it to the Omnichannel, it doesn't have that appointment setting feature yet, right? Or is that going to be in the next version?
It's gonna have in the NNN it will have one. So in the voice flow, it's gonna have that one in some time.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. I'll let the other people speak. Thanks again, man.
Yeah, no worries. Francisco.
How Eugene? How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad.
The question. I have two questions. The first one is very similar from the one but before. Is like, what's the difference exactly from working with voice flow and in terms of quality of conversational agent? Is the voice flow better, or I will have like the same results if I work with N8N? Because I am starting learning the technologies, and I prefer to start like learning the better one or the most useful one.
Learn N8N. It's not going to be better than voice though. No, it's like quality's responses is the same. It's just on the flexibility and possibility.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, the quality is the same. Like we made it so because usually our like sales agent on N8N is a bit different because like there's like chunking and there's like memory and there's like different kind of functions before and after the actual agent.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why it's a bit more tricky than voice flow. But because we already did it, you don't need to kind of worry about that. So if you're learning, yeah, start with the NNN and you're good to go.
Okay. So the next question is like, in order to promote my agency, I'm thinking about starting a YouTube channel. So what are your recommendations in that, like in kind of like content creation type of thing, in order to like get clients and to show what you're doing? And
Yeah.
what tools do you use like that you can like recommend me after your research, do your research on everything?
So I actually found, I think, the best tool for the YouTube creators. This really
Okay.
unpopular one. This unpopular one. It's called iPhone 16.
iPhone 16. Okay.
So I'm like using iPhone 16 Pro Max for the camera. Okay.
Okay.
I mean OBS Studio for their like screen recordings.
What was the first screen recordings for again? Can you type it?
OBS Studio. This is the streamer software. I feel like I'm a streamer.
Okay.
So it has like
You can record your screen with that.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So because like Loom is like because in the OBS you can like pair the camera with the independently, so it's better quality. Anyways, so in the setup and for the video edits I use CapCut.
Okay. CapCut.
I finally need to get the editor. I actually have some like who's helping me, but whatever. I just like to do it myself for now. In terms of the content, don't do what I do. Don't do what other people do. I feel like right now the space is weird. And
Yeah,
if you think
I'm planning
about
to do
this,
my YouTube channel in Spanish, so it's less content than in English, so I have like an advantage there.
one thing that's great. Yeah. On Spanish, this is like whole nother story. But in general, thesis is like, guys, we're like so early. That's crazy. AI is the internet. Like, imagine right now starting the YouTube channel about internet.
The internet, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
What the fuck that means. And like when people are saying like, I built an agent that can get the quotes. I can build the make that cook your food, like whatever. It's random. Even I try to focus more on the sales side, and because of the one prompt and stuff. So I would say that if you pick either one service, right, or one niche in multiple services. So let's say you would pick dental clinics. You would literally spam like 4 times a week videos on AI for dental clinics, from literally using GPT image generation to create dental ads to sales systems, like everything on how AI can be potentially used in the niche. Okay. And you will be the AI guy for that niche. I can put my reputation on the line and say, if you're going to do that for 6 months, you will get a few clients for sure. It seems like, yeah. And still, like, most of the views will be not owners, not people in the dental space. They can be guys like us. But the chances of landing and being more specific is higher because of the SEO. Because people, when they're going to search on Google, they're going to search on, and you need to like make it SEO optimized with a good description, with a good title. Or you would use something like me on the sales side, everything about AI in sales, which is still, this is going to be, kind of harder because like there are so many things could like that you can potentially do.
In Spanish there's like less competition. That's I think might be a good niche also. Yeah. But for example, if I make an agent for like a dentist or whatever, with one prompt, how much flexibility I have to like show that on the internet on my YouTube channel, because I don't want to like show something that you don't want me to show, but also if I build a solution, I would like to show it and I can get clients through that. So
I mean, show whatever you want. So there is no limitation
okay.
on that side.
Okay,
I mean, yeah. So there is like you can, and because if you mention I built it on one prompt, like cool.
Oh,
I
of
guess
course.
you're gonna. But again, you don't. I don't think that you need to do that. By the way, I don't think because you need to say high level. You need to say high because it's gonna be easier for people to understand. So
Yeah, sure.
yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So
Thank you, Gene.
yeah, no worries. So that was it, right? That was very, very active. I really like that. Great questions. Thanks, everyone. Update is coming. We'll let everyone know. We'll post the recording, and we'll see you soon. You guys have the great rest of your week.